So the way that you put your weight in the saddle before asking the horse to walk off from the block makes a big difference in the way that they're going to carry themselves forward. And something I think about a lot is that the horse should be balanced from the first step of movement. So when you get on the block and you ask the horse to go forward, what many of us do is we dodder around in a warm-up sort of mindlessly, and once that's all well and good, we start to try and gather the horse up and try to get them balanced and aware and attentive and all that stuff. But I want to think about that from the moment my butt hits the saddle. So the way that I do that has to be mindful, and I want the horse to then be connecting into me so that the first step off the block is somewhat accurate. So I'm going to show you what that would look like. So once I've mounted, I weight the offside, then the inside, and I gather my stirrups so that my center of gravity, my center here, is stable before, that way my legs and my arms are sort of extraneous to that. So my legs and my arms essentially are coming out of my center, and when I get on, center is already balanced. So I want to think about having both hips as level as I can get them. Then my rib cage would be level on top of that, and my shoulders would be level on top of that, and then my head would be right in the center, right? And then my legs are an extension of that. My legs are hanging out. And this positioning here is asking the horse to carry my weight from a level, in a level way. So if I have half of me on one side, half of me on the other side, I'm the weight that he carries forward. Whereas if I'm like this and I'm twisted before I ask him to walk off, he's going to have to carry my weight in an unlevel way, which means he's going to use more tension on one side of his body to pull me and to counterbalance for the way that I'm doing. Just like if you're carrying a child on your back and they start to monkey around, you have to tension and get crooked to support that weight, as opposed to carrying somebody who's on your back and they're still and they're straight. That's a lot easier. So when I get ready and I go to get on, my seat already means something to this horse. And what a lot of people do when they go to ask the horse to go forward is they go something like that. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But you can see that the way he moved was a little bit goosey. His head elevated a little bit, and he wasn't really that balanced. So what I'm going to ask the horse to do instead is to get balanced, to feel my weight over his back. And the way that I pick up the reins, so you saw it the first time I tipped onto my crotch, my heels swung back, and my hands went to the side. And he's saying, what do you think you're doing? Who are you? So when we swing our arms sideways, I pull my sternum down, and I've tipped onto my crotch. So now all my weight is onto his shoulders. So what I want to do instead is get my weight level. I want to straighten his neck out with just my weight. And what I'm going to do is just let him feel me on each side, and that straightened his neck out. So just having my thighs level, dispersing my weight a little bit off of my crotch and so that my seat is a little bit more of a level surface. Now what I want him to think about is to go forward straight with a relaxed back. So if I squeeze my butt cheeks together, if I squeeze my legs, that's going to raise my center of gravity up, and it's going to drop his back. And that's what happened the last time I went forward. So what I'm going to think about is find the buckle of my reins. I take a nice breath out and find my center first. So I'm dispersed equally on both sides. My legs are softly draped on either side of his body. That's already straightening and calming him. Then when I go to pick up my reins, oh, it's a good boy. When I go to pick up my reins, I'm going to slide forward onto each side in a way that doesn't pull them out to the side and drop my sternum down and put me onto my crotch. So my hands and my legs are always an extension of my center, so my hands can't work against my center. So again, I'll show you when I pick up my rein. Here's the buckle. My center stays steady. Slide down, slide down. I didn't disrupt my center, so when I ask him to go forward, I'm going to look at something visually, and I'm going to think forward. Then I'm going to brush him a little with my whip here. And I'm going to ride along with that first step with him. So left front leg, right front leg, left front leg, right front leg, left front leg, right front leg, left front leg, right front leg. So that way his neck stayed a lot more relaxed, and he didn't drop his back just to go forward. So before I go forward, I'm going to let his back and his neck relax. So I'm going to disperse my weight more equally. I'm going to take a breath, drop my elbows, relax, give some rein out. So now his neck is much more prepared. I'm connected to his back, so I can feel under each glute. I can feel his back. So I'm not digging in, but I'm not perched on my crotch. There we go. Just feed out some rain, relax, take a breath. Now as he moves forward, I'm going to follow him with my seat, so I'm not braced against his movement. So when he goes forward, I pick a visual to look at. There's left foot, right foot. Now he's dropping his neck. He's much more relaxed. I can feel his back moving, and he's well prepared for these first steps of movement.